Another update in the RoosterTeeth situation with AT&T. The other day, I was reporting on a situation about AT&T's Warner Media subsidiary preparing a massive restructuring aimed at cutting costs by as much as 20%, resulting in thousands of employees losing their jobs. The layoffs are in addition to the more than 500 jobs Warner Media eliminated at Warner Brothers back in August. And that's on top of layoffs that occurred back in 2019 as well, and the alleged under-the-table layoffs that occurred at RoosterTeeth in early 2019 as well. Now, we talked about RoosterTeeth and Warner Media, and here we have news. AT&T closes $1.1 billion sale of Central European Media stake. So let me be very clear here. We're not talking specifically about RoosterTeeth right now, but their parent companies, subsidiaries, and that sort of thing. So it's still very much important to take note of this stuff, especially because, as we had talked about previously, AT&T is looking to trim some of their massive debt, which they actually talk about right here. With all that said, thank you for tuning in, and let's read the news from the top. This is the Hollywood Reporter. The telecom giant had inherited the majority stake in the Prague-based TV networks operator when it acquired Time Warner. Warner Media parent AT&T's $1.1 billion sale of a majority stake in Central European Media Enterprises to Czech businessman Peter Kellner's PPF Group closed on Tuesday. AT&T, led by CEO John Stankey, decided last year to sell the asset. It had acquired the stake in the Prague-based TV network operator when it bought Time Warner, now Warner Media. The company operates networks in I'm going to definitely not pronounce any of that properly, so let's just skip that. The European Union earlier this month approved the Central European Media CME deal, with the latter's management team then saying the transaction would close this week, and here we go. Under terms of the deal, AT&T receives $1.1 billion in cash and is also relieved of $575 million of debt guaranteed. The sale, here's a quote, is consistent with AT&T's ongoing efforts to monetize non-core assets to drive incremental shareholder value, the telecom giant said. The company plans to continue to focus on lowering its net debt to strengthen its balance sheet and will remain opportunistic around opportunities to further improve its borrowing costs. Time Warner initially acquired its CME holding in 2009, paying $242 million for a 31% stake, which it later raised. AT&T has been exploring the sale of non-core assets to cut its debt load, which stood at $152 billion as of mid-year. The telecom, I'm sorry, that's insane. The telecom giant has also been, the telecom giant has also been to be looking, we have a little editing here. I'm making a speech error, and there's also an editing error. Oh gosh, Hollywood Reporter and me are really the worst team bringing you the news here, apparently. The telecom giant has also been to be looking at divesting a stake of slightly more than 50% of satellite TV unit DirecTV. That's pretty crazy. What's the takeaway and what does this mean for RoosterTeeth? Well, of course, I could be just giving you wrong information here, but this is my opinion, and here is what I think. So we got to take a look at these highlighted areas. AT&T receives $1.1 billion in cash and is also relieved of a $575 million debt guarantee. The total debt stood around $152 billion, though. So is this really going to help them? It looks like it really won't help at all. I mean, that's such a marginal amount of the debt that they have. They still have over $150 billion of debt. And we see down here that they're still going to look at divesting more equity in DirecTV to offload some of that debt or to balance some of that debt. But I think that's not going to be enough, man. I think they're going to need to continue to sell more assets. And, RoosterTeeth, here's the thing about RoosterTeeth. How much is that company even worth? Like, hypothetically, even if they wanted to get rid of RoosterTeeth to lower their debt, RoosterTeeth is probably worth such a nominal amount of money compared to the $150 billion of debt that they have that it might not even be worth the hassle. I mean, who knows? Anyways, also this area in the middle. 2009 paying $242 million for a 31% stake, which it later raised. So you can argue that, well, this worked out well for AT&T. Technically, they paid $242 million, and they ended up selling for $1.1 billion and $575 million debt guarantee. The details of that are left out. Also, the details of which it later raised is left out. So I don't know how much more they spent on further equity, but it's implied that they did. We just don't have the details. All in all, like I said, though, you combine this with all the news that's been coming out, RoosterTeeth 2019, 2020, you have like 15 to 20 of their top personalities that left the company. You've had layoffs somewhere between, with the alleged ones under the table and the ones that are public, you have like 20% of the staff that have been laid off or so. And then the nonstop controversies, the animation department, allegations of overtime crunch, and the list goes on and on and on. This is not the look of a healthy company. I've said it before. I'll say it again. In my opinion, we'll see where this goes. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time.